Basically, since last year. So last year, up until then, I just bought my own cosplay. I didn't really make any of my own cosplay. This year marks the year that I decided to, you know, dibble dabble in experimenting, making some cosplay and all that. Some that I bought secondhand and I fixed or altered. Others that I just found like base of the outfit and then just kind of like modified and added onto and everything. And it actually brought me to doing my first masquerade at Anime North, which was a pretty nice experience, I must say.
So you went up on a stage in front of everybody in the cosplay masquerade or whatever. Well, tell everybody about that. How were you feeling right before going on stage, during stage, and then when you got off?
Oh man, the nerves. If you ask someone that is just about to go on stage, if they're nervous and they say no, I'm cool as a cucumber, they're lying.
Mm-hmm.
Because let me tell you, like, I don't care how many years of experience you have on theater and movie making or whatever, but nothing compares to like the nerves you have before going on stage. So like at a masquerade, you could either like do the masquerade and just do a best performance, or which you don't get judged on like your craftsmanship, or you do both performance and craftsmanship. I decided to, I kind of, made this cosplay, so I wanted to see like the whole thing, how it is to do the masquerade for performance and for the craftsmanship. Craftsmanship was pretty much, one-on-one with like one or two judges, and they just ask you questions and all, and you just answer truthfully and everything. Don't lie. You will regret it if you lie.
They will know. I've known some judges.
Yeah. And once you get stuck in, what is it, Masters? Try ever doing masquerades other than Masters, because I heard that once you win, as a if you, because it's all based on like trust, or not trust, but there's like a specific word, but I can't remember the word right now. But based on like honesty, and so if you say that you are a novice, but in reality you're masters, that's not really fair. But a lot of people do it because they might have the years of experience of making cosplay, but they don't have the years of experience of doing masquerades. So one thing I learned, and I thought at first was just, people that have master skills, they just want to get easy awards by like saying that they're novice and whatnot. But in reality, it says being which way you want to be honest, In terms of your craftsmanship, you could say like, yeah, I'm more of a journeyman or whatever. So like the way the levels go, so you have novice, you have journeyman, artisan, and then you have masters. At least on the Canadian west side. On the French Canadian, I think it's something similar along those lines. And in the American side, I'm not sure, but some of the words might be different or something. But so yeah, basically, there's different kinds of nervousness you can have. You can have nervousness of like your craftsmanship is falling apart. I've seen people in the back go bonkers and like practically stay the whole entire time in the green room just fixing their cosplay last minute breaks and whatnot. Some people, if not most, are doing their cosplay crunch just the night before in the hotel room, which they're like, why would you put yourself through that? You're just like stealing your.
Well, sometimes I feel there's people who are just never satisfied with the outcome, and so they're always just trying to fix it or improve on it. And I don't know, there's this one Simpsons episode actually that reminds me when Marge found this like beautiful blue dress, and she just kept modifying it and adding things or whatever to make it look new whenever she went to like this fancy place or whatever. But it just, towards the end of the episode, she accidentally destroyed it in the sewing machine, and she was just like upset about it, but the rest of her family was like, who cares, it's just a dress. But I'm sure it's a little bit different with cosplay, but still, man, you gotta just settle on a product and maybe try and make the plan first. Don't just keep improvising, because then you'll never finish and you'll just always be working on it forever, I guess.
Yeah. So it's like that with anything, though.
Yeah, even with me with strategy guides and stuff that I write on my website, sometimes I think about just improving one strategy guide for one game, but then I'm just doing the same game and improving that one guide. And then I think about, well, maybe I can just write different guides for different games, and then I'll have more guides, but it won't be as great as that one super thorough guide. It's similar with cosplay, so you do kind of like balance, but I just feel like it would be better to experience different cosplays and characters and costumes and stuff instead of just focusing on the same one over and over. That's just me personally.
And I completely agree, because when I first started cosplaying, first 5 years, I just literally just focused on this one character. Sailor Moon! So basically, I did a cosplay Sailor Moon for the first 5 years of my cosplay career, I guess you could say. And so the first year, I just did the Fuku outfit, the Sailor Scout outfit, and the following year, I perfected on it. The third year, I decided to add on a princess outfit, and the fourth year, I decided to add on a school uniform outfit, and yukata and whatever. The last year, I finally successfully got all 10 scouts together. And I was like, that's it. After this, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll figure something out.
And on a high note.
Yes. So, yeah, it was fun perfecting one character, but by the 5th year, I was like, if I don't find something else I want to cosplay, I don't know if I will continue cosplaying. Luckily, I came across Naruto and fell in love with Sakura and Sasuke and decided I would cosplay Sakura. And of course, like when you're used to cosplaying one type of character for so long, you kind of like start second guessing yourself, like maybe I'm a one-trick pony, you know, maybe I don't fit in the shoes to look like another character and all that. And at the time, Sakura was getting a lot of like trash talk and all that stuff, so I was kind of like worried about like, oh my god, maybe like I won't look the part, or there'll be the talkers, or be like the trolling people. They're like, oh well, you can't cosplay this character because you're not the right body type and the right nationality, age, blah 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 blah. And then, to my surprise, Sakura is the character that got me more known in the cosplay community. Everybody just loved me as cosplaying Sakura, that I just did it for the next several years, with some breaks in between that I got to try out different characters. And you learn which character you kind of grow attached to when you stop cosplaying them, and then you're like, I want to bring them back. And I feel like with Sakura, I connect a lot with her, because we have a lot of similar traits in our personality and our goals and the men that we choose. But yeah, so there's always going to be like a character that I'm always going to go back to, and now that I'm making my own cosplay, I could even make the fan art of that character that I love so much and everything. And hopefully one day, you know, I'll have a partner in crime to cosplay Sasuke with me.
But let's get back about going on stage, the Masquerade.
Right, I
So
kind of got sidetracked over
You're
there.
on stage.
So,
How do you feel on stage? With
So-
everybody staring at you.
actually, believe it or not, you don't see squat when you go on stage. The
No.
lights are so bright, you can't see like what's 2 feet ahead of you. Kind of like right now what's going on, you know, the light is right in front of you, and you can't really see if there's people standing behind the light and all that. You know there's people because I've done like fashion shows before, so like I know there's people because I can hear them, but you're so caught up in the emotions, the nerves, and like hoping to get all your cues down right. And yes, I did panic at some point that I was like, I hope my sound is going to work. Because the worst thing you could do is just go on stage and you just walk on stage and just like crickets. So yeah, there was a lot of nerves and everything. But what was great right after I got off stage and everything, all the other cosplayers were like, you were great, you were amazing. And like, I didn't know if they were just being polite or just being genuine, because like, I don't know, like, I know there's a lot of people that are probably paranoid and they think like everyone's just out to get them and all that. But that's not me. Like, I just wasn't not used to like that kind of like gratitude or appreciation.
Mhm.
And it was nice, you know, to have experienced that. So
And then Yeah. Well, there are some really great people in the cosplay community that are always there to help out. You know, old people, new people, doesn't matter. They're just there to love it. And then there are some people who are just there for the money, it seems like. Those people you can avoid. Those people are usually just to themselves anyway, so whatever. But everybody who does like to interact and who does like to talk usually talks in a more positive way, I would feel.
Yeah. I mean, there's gonna be drama no matter which cosplay community you go out to, whether it be French Canada, English Canada, States, somewhere other than North America like Japan or Europe or Australia. But it all comes down to the same thing. Like we're all humans. We all have like some self-confidence issues and all that. That's why most of us are doing it, is to kind of get ourselves out there, out of our comfort zone, and just like. Plus, when you're cosplaying another character and you see someone else that's cosplaying the same character as you, or from the same fandom or the same series, it's just easier to kind of get out of your social anxiety and just be like, hey, dude, I love that cosplay you're cosplaying. Like, I love that show. And then you guys just start talking about it and everything. And then the social awkwardness kind of just like, it's like, what social awkwardness?
Yeah, whenever I try and talk to people or ask people for whatever, it's usually people who are cosplaying something from a show that I know. There are other people out there, that rarely, if it's a costume that I just think looks really awesome, but I don't know where it's from, then I might ask about it. But sometimes my nerves are just too much. But when it's other people, in the same like gaming community or anime community, whatever, then I'm just like, oh man, you like this, or you know about this, or whatever. And then sometimes I just talk about like, hey, I have this YouTube channel, I have this website where I talk about that or whatever, and then just talk about more about other things I do, and then maybe they talk about other things they do. I remember this one time I just started talking with this guy, and he was like, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel where I just talk about Pokemon theories. I was like, yeah, I've talked about a couple Pokemon theories on my gaming channel, so just go ahead and do it. I don't know if he ever did it, but some of his ideas were pretty interesting, so I was like, just go for it.
Live in the present.
So I guess that's all we have to say. Again, I'll leave the description, or leave links in the description box to your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, YouTube channels, so you can check them out, and hopefully you can try and keep them updated with future cosplay things you might be working on, and the upcoming Anime Expo and stuff. And
for now, you can follow my Instagram and Facebook, where I'm a little bit more active on. Basically on my Facebook, I tend to do live streams. So whenever I see something special and unique about this convention I'm going to, like for example, Anime North, the specialty about that, because it was like my third time going, was basically the Masquerade. So I kind of like documented a little bit about the Masquerade and all that stuff. And probably in that episode, when I get around to editing it, it's probably a lot of like in front of the camera talking about my experience and whatnot and everything. So it's a lot of work, but once you get down to it, you can't stop.
Yeah, it's all for fun.
Yeah.
Even if it's work, it's still fun work. But whatever, that's all we gotta say. So we'll see you guys later. And as always, don't be afraid to be an otaku.